Hi, you guys. We made it to Friday, and today we're talking about the fourth part of the four conditions. So, this is our last part of what causes our suffering. And next week, we'll talk a little bit about what comes next, right? So, these are the four conditions that you cannot control, but that affect your life every day. And what comes next is up to you. So, the fourth condition, of which we have no control, but that significantly impacts the way that we show up to life, is our social conditioning, our social and cultural norms. Where and when we have lived matters to how we respond. For example, did the songs you listened to growing up have themes of dominating women? Did the TV shows you watched glorify a meritocracy? Did you have an evidence-based education and learn critical thinking skills? Were you raised in a tight-knit community? Were you raised in a religious one? Could any of that have influenced your thoughts on others? For example, there are those who are maybe raised in the South that have a disdain for a Northern accent. Does an accent define a person's worth? Absolutely not. But sometimes it can be so ingrained in your culture that you want to separate yourself as much as you can. And anytime you're separating yourself, you're causing yourself suffering. How much of our racism and homophobia and size-ism, ableism, stems from cultural messages that there is a superior way to be? This can be hard work. Inner work is hard, but take a moment when you can and reflect on your social conditioning. And as you reflect, maybe put a hand over your heart or maybe another soothing, comforting place. And remember that social conditioning is like the air that we breathe. It is everywhere. There is no escaping it. And that's why we call these conditions the conditions that are not your fault. But what comes next is up to us. And next week, we'll talk about what comes next. Okay. I love you. Have a good weekend. I'll see you next week.